So you say you learn a new thing every day, and well, learned a new thing today. And I didn't know that me, Celtic Celts, and other Celtic Celts has initiatives like that. And as you know, every day of the week I'm picking up dog shit, which is not the nicest thing to do. And the people that just don't have any care for for themselves above all else, have any decency and any care for themselves. But for others too in the community, because a child, God forbid, could pick it up, could touch it, put it in the eyes, it could go blind. It can cause blindness. Dog shit, if it goes into the eyes, it causes blindness. Again, it particularly affects young people. Can affect. You can get worms from it, um, type worm and different things like that are terrible. Particularly the type worm, it affects the veins. It affects the heart. It can basically kill you. In other words, and again you put yourself out. And again, particularly me, not many people would want to do local towers and things like that. It's basically, if you get it, you basically, it's very progressive thing. There's no such thing as anything cure for it. So again, this is what we need to do, because again, it can happen to a young person, and everything that, and that's why I do too. Just to say, because we'd be like, why the fuck do you put yourself at risk for it? And that's why the laws are very strict. In other words, the laws in this country don't exist. I was going to say they're very strict on paper, but in reality, they're shit. Quite literally shit. Because only 10 people last year were brought up for this, for not picking up after dogs, and half of them wouldn't find. But yeah, isn't it great? But yeah, I was looking through a book that I used in junior sort and told you. And this is about this, and it's the Green Walker Pledge, and I never knew about this. So, and obviously under the legislation, it's the limited amount you can be fined is for the most you can be fined is 4,000. But very, again, as I say, but it does affect young children the most. So it can cause extreme illness in young, particularly in primary school children. And again, I really say it on the person level. To dog, again, 25% of the Irish population have had dogs. I would encourage, and I would say to you, if you don't care about yourself, whatever about caring about yourself, but think of young people, think of children, think of young school children. Think about that, and think about toddlers and things like that, and think about people that are disabled, that have to use public footpaths and things. That think about that. Truly, think about that. And don't be so selfish. That's what I say to you straight. To people who don't pick up, please think of others. Think of others. If you don't care about yourself, then don't care about yourself. But please think of people that are vulnerable in our society. That people like we are on wheelchairs and things like that. Think about that, and think about the young people, and how you could change their life. Literally, if they get it in the Y, it could blind them, and you might never have the use of their eyes again. So think about that, please do think about that. But yeah, the dog was the pledge, and I never knew about this before. And so basically, it's a campaign basically to say to bring the clean up first of all after your dog. So obviously clean up after your dog, dispose of your bag correctly into a dog bin. Many county cats, so I'm very thankful for the many county cats do. We have a dog bin here. Obviously I forced their hand with the first one in cabin to get a dog bin, because I forced their hand to do it. So yeah, but if there's no dog bin, just put it into an ordinary bin or bring it home. And if you see other people bringing their dogs and don't clean up, please encourage them. Don't abuse them or anything, but encourage them to pick up after them, to think about other people, think about children, to think about people that are disabled, particularly on public footpaths and things like that. I'm sure we all agree, and we all walked into dog shit at one stage. It's not nice, and it's just the right thing to do. It's a small bit of decency and a small bit of respect. I understand that and also bring a spare bag. If somebody doesn't have a bag, you can give them a spare bag. So that's rule 4. At any time, the dog dispensed. I will confront the dog walkers about fouling. I understand the green walker is not to confront them in an unfriendly manner, and to challenge them about letting the dog shit if they're on the dog lead or anything. See that, because again, it is your responsibility too as a member for any community to and again, it's up to the local authorities to have a role to play in all that. So but it's up to you as you see to do the right thing. In other words, to say look at, take out the phone again. That's the thing you could do too. Take out the phone and take a video and shame them into it. Because again, this is how we do it. Because we have to think about others. We can't have to put the foot down and say this is this. But again, it's interesting. I never knew about it. So that's the 5 rules. So I'll just say to you, and again, particularly if you're in South Dublin County Council, Dunreary, Fingal, Meath, Wicklow and Laois County Council, districts areas in counties. To please to work with this, because I never knew about it. and to look at it. But again, you can learn things from books, catch you. But yeah, I do encourage you to help out, to do your bit. Like again, I encourage people, and I do say this straight, to not pick up after somebody else's dog. If you see somebody else and you're afraid to confront them into that, don't pick it up after them. It's no point putting yourself at risk. It truly isn't, and it's not worth it over the end. For some county council, it's not worth it. Your taxes pay for that. That's what people like me are here for. People who are civil servants, that's what we pay to do. Even though they won't do unions over the councils, will let people, members of the council pick up shit only for that I'm doing it and I couldn't give a shit what the unions have to say. I'm gonna do whatever I please, and if it kills me, that's that. What can they do? It's my own loss if I die in the morning. Because there's nobody else in the county council to want to do it, and to be totally honest, I wouldn't blame them. If they have a child and they have a wife at home, they don't want to put themselves at risk for people that just don't care about themselves first of all. I don't care about anybody else, and I suppose that's true in a way. But yeah, so please do pick up after your dog, and if you see other people do, please confront them. Don't obviously beat them or into that. We don't want that. But do just say it in a firm manner that it shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't tolerate it, and you shouldn't allow it in your community, because again, it's your community. It's your community, no matter where you are in the country. It's your community. And you have to think about other people. Think about your friends. Think about your family. Think about your children having to walk through the dog shit, think about that. Just think about that. Or think about, God forbid, people with disabled, as I say, that have no choice but to go through it because they can't avoid it if they see it. They can't just do a 360 and onto the road or into somebody in a wheelchair. So think about that. And again, it's the height of selfishness, not thinking about others. So yeah, take care, everybody. Let me know what you're thinking. Bye.